Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. It's Paulie Esther here, and Dead by Daylight gave us a new developer update. They tweeted about it here. Oh boy, the news is here. When you click this link, it takes you to the official forums of Dead by Daylight where they put together this post just this morning, the August developer update here. We're back with another developer update, a series of posts detailing all the changes coming to Dead by Daylight, and in this edition we'll cover the balance changes from the 6.2.0 public test build and other various tweaks. Bloodweb costs. Oh. Last month we overhauled our progression system to make it easier than ever to earn perks, and under this new system, perks are now unlocked through prestige and are immediately available to use on other characters without needing to be found in the Bloodweb. Higher tier versions of their perks can be earned with subsequent prestiges or randomly throughout the Bloodweb. And alongside these changes, we removed the blood point bonuses from 2 perks, Barbecue and Chili, and We're Gonna Live Forever. As some of you have rightly pointed out, without these bonuses, you could afford fewer Bloodweb nodes per match, making it harder to earn items, add-ons, and offerings than before. And we wanted to remedy this as soon as possible, and with the release of the Resident Evil Project W chapter, we're reducing the cost of nodes in the Bloodweb by roughly 1/3. See the chart below for a full cost breakdown. So, event items go from 3,000 blood points to 2,000. Same thing with commons. Uncommons go from 4,000 blood points to 2,500. Rares from 5k to 3,250. Very rares from 6k to 4k. And ultra rares from 7k to 5k. Nice. You know, the rest of the world is experiencing tremendous amount of inflation, but not here in the fog. The entity is slashing prices on those essential items that you need. Okay, let's see here. You may be wondering why not increase the blood points earned instead. This is a good question and one that we took into consideration. First, a 33% reduction in the Bloodweb costs is effectively the same as increasing blood point earnings by 50% across the board. For example, 30,000 blood points can be exchanged for 15 common nodes when priced at 2,000 blood points each. At 3,000 blood points, you would need 45,000 blood points to get the same number of nodes. Second, the reduction makes all blood points more valuable, not just those from matches. This means that even your daily rituals and archive challenges have more purchasing power than ever before. Nice, I like it. I've often said, why am I going to spend 7,000 blood points on a brand new part when a clown could just come kick away all that progress with Pop Goes the Weasel? It's too expensive. I need my prices slashed. All right. Ultimately, we found that reducing Bloodweb costs was the fairest option and provides the best value. Camping and tunneling. Oh boy, let's see this one. Let me shine my glasses for this one. This sounds important. In the past mid-chapter, we added 5-second endurance and haste effect to all unhooked survivors. These status effects are designed to give the unhooked survivor a fighting chance by allowing them to get to a nearby pallet or a window if the killer decides to chase them again. We released this feature with safe numbers to ensure that things don't get out of hand, and now that we've had some time to see how they play out, we feel comfortable increasing them further. Well, hallelujah! In 6.2.0, we'll be increasing the duration of the haste and endurance effects to 10 seconds, and additionally, we'll be increasing the haste effect to 10% increased speed from 7%. We hope you'll find these improvements to be much more effective in discouraging the killer from chasing the same survivor immediately after they're unhooked. Now, just from my standpoint to show you why this was necessary, if you were hooked in the basement and somebody came and unhooked you, that survivor did not have enough of the built-in borrowed time to reach the window in the shack. Think about that. That's how short it was. They couldn't even get through the window safely on the shack without going down. So yes, I'm highly in favor of that. Mettle of Man. In a recent update, we released a new version of Mettle of Man, which worked consistently with other endurance effects. Many of you voiced concerns with this version of the perk being weaker than before, favoring a hard-to-earn effect that couldn't be lost. Our intention with this change was never to make the perk weaker. Therefore, alongside the chapter release, we'll be reverting the recent update of Mettle of Man. Mettle of Man will instead grant a unique protection effect that is not canceled by conspicuous actions like endurance. To help differentiate them, this perk will no longer cause the endurance status effect to appear in the HUD when activated. Interesting. Post-PTB changes. The halls of the Raccoon City Police Department were packed in this PTB. Whether you were hurling survivors at literal breakneck speeds or being hurled, we want to thank you for taking the time to leave your feedback. We'll be making a few changes in time for the release. As always, these changes are by no means final, and we'll continue to monitor how everything performs and reassess once the dust has settled. We'll start with the mastermind himself, Albert Wesker. One thing we noticed during this PTB was that the collision detection on the mastermind's rush was a little too sensitive, causing the killer to bump into objects they shouldn't have. For the release, we've toned this down so you don't accidentally bump into obstacles as often. We've also polished the way Virulent Bound interacts with pallets and windows. During the PTB, survivors would not take damage if the mastermind bounded towards them as they were vaulting. This was not intentional. The mastermind will now hit them with his tentacles if they're caught in the middle of a vault. Additionally, survivors could wait on the other side of the pallet, vaulting back over it before the mastermind could attack after vaulting. I did that! No! Going forward, standing too close to a vault location as the mastermind bounds over it will result in the survivor being injured. Damn it! There goes my counterplay. All right, y'all saw me do that on stream. It was hilarious. Next, we've revisited his power in loops. We found his base movement speed between bounds to be a little slow, making it difficult to get into position for another bound. For the release, we've increased the mastermind's movement speed between bounds to 2.76 meters per second, up from 2.3, the speed previously achieved by using the Loose Crank add-on. Since this add-on has been added to the base kit, we've reduced its movement speed bonus to 8% from 20% to compensate for a new total of 2.98 meters per second. That's fast. One of the quirks of Virulent Bound is the ability to throw survivors at each other, injuring both survivors in the process. Oftentimes, those unfortunate enough to have their friends flung at them would not even realize that they'd been injured. That's true. To make this more obvious, being injured from a survivor thrown by the mastermind will now cause deep wounds. You can now make a Jill sandwich. Last but not least, we've slightly toned down the survivor collision detection, thank God, from the mastermind's bound. We found this to be a little too generous on the PTB. Allowing the killer to grab survivors that were not in front of him. This change will require a little more precision on the killer's part and make Virulent Bound feel fairer to survivors. On to the perks. We've made a few tweaks to the new perks following the PTB. As always, we'll continue to fine-tune each of them as necessary once the update goes live. Okay, so here you're going to tell me I can't take the survivor hostage on the hook with a couple of reassurances? Let's see. This perk, Reassurance. This perk allows you to pause the hook progression of another survivor, buying you and your team more time to work on generators if the killer is camping. On the PTB, Reassurance had a 40-second cooldown and could be used repeatedly. When coordinated with other survivors, this could have been abused to keep the hook survivor permanently on the hook, preventing them from being sacrificed against their will. Where's the problem? For the release, we have removed the cooldown of Reassurance. Instead, Reassurance can only be used once per hook instance. The effects of this perk can still be chained together if multiple survivors are running Reassurance for a maximum delay of 90 seconds. This will keep the perk's effects potent without being abusable. I like that. That's good. Once per hook instance. Awakened Awareness. So does that mean, like, if they go into struggle, you can use it again once they're on struggle? Or only, like, one time when they're hooked completely? Not sure. Awakened Awareness. This perk grants the killer aura reading while they're carrying a survivor. On the PTB, this effect also lingered for 2 seconds after the carried survivors dropped, hooked, or wiggled free. This effect could be a little oppressive on certain killers, especially when paired with Lethal Pursuer to extend the aura reading effect and Starstruck to make survivors exposed. For the release, we've removed the lingering aura reading from Awakened Awareness. As a result, Lethal Pursuer will no longer extend the duration of awakened awareness or reading. Could you imagine if you were going against like an amazing nurse? They pick somebody up, they look around, they see where everybody is, drop that survivor, and then go room zoom zoom with Starstruck to anybody who's nearby. That was going to be lethal. People were afraid of that. So they nipped that one in the bud before it even became a thing. Nip it in the bud. All right. Low profile. Low profile, hide your scratch marks and pools of blood when you become the last survivor for up to 90 seconds. Unfortunately, this meant the perk would only activate once per match, and only if you happen to be the last survivor standing. For the release, we've changed this to include any time you are the only survivor who is not dying, hooked, or dead as well. That's a good change, allowing it to activate throughout the match. Additionally, low profile will also mask your grunts of pain in addition to its existing effects. Yeah, I like that. I would say that was a very low tier perk before this. Not sure, you know, it's not making its way into the meta, but it's better. Better than new. This perk granted any survivor you healed a 6% action speed bonus to repairing, healing, chest opening, and totem cleansing for up to 35 seconds. We found the duration of this perk to be a little low to make much use out of the bonus speed. Before release, we've made a few changes to this perk. Better Than New now grants us 16% action speed, and it has no longer has a duration. Survivors instead keep this bonus until the next time they take damage. Wow, I like that. We hope this will make it easier to get value out of Better Than New. And finally, we come to the Raccoon City Police Department itself. In this chapter, the map has been split into two, the East Wing and the West Wing. And each map includes the main hall and a small section of the opposite wing, greatly reducing its size compared to the original. We've also opened new pathways between various rooms to make the maps easier to navigate, as well as widening some hallways to make the map feel less claustrophobic and allow more interesting gameplay. In the PTB, we found that there were too many pallets scattered around the Raccoon City Police Station. Now that its size has been reduced, we will reduce the number of pallets on the newly renovated map for when the chapter releases. Yeah, the main hall had like 3 in it. 1 at each side of the top of the stairs, and then 1 in the front desk. It was a lot to work with. With that, we've reached the end of this edition of the developer update. Everything we've covered today will appear alongside the release of Dead by Daylight Resident Evil Project W chapter in the coming weeks. What? No release date? Coming weeks. As always, we look forward to hearing what you think once you've had a chance to try out the changes. Until next time, the Dead by Daylight team. So, coming weeks. We don't have an official release date. I've heard some rumors. Nothing official from Dead by Daylight, obviously, that said August the 30th, 1 week from today. But I don't know if that's true. Them saying coming weeks makes me question that. But, I don't know. Who can say? We'll see. We'll wait patiently and see if it drops next week. If not, maybe it'll be into September. The actual roadmap says it's released in September, but who knows? I do appreciate a lot of these changes. I think they're good changes. I'm going to look forward to all of my better value with my my blood points. Those great value entity blood point changes. We're getting generic offerings now at a reduced price. I'm just making a joke, like generic products in the grocery store. Very cool. All right, well, that's all I have for you today. As always, thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate all the time that you spend here with me on my channel. So, see you next time. Don't forget to take care of each other in and out of the fog. Hey, it's been a while since I made a video, okay? I don't remember my outro, okay? Have a great day, everybody. Bye-bye. It's a Gen Rush life for us. It's a Gen Rush life for us. Set a hiding, we do gens. Set a randoms, we got friends. It's a Gen Rush life.